So dance all night long to the throb, baby, feel the beat. Don't you leave me, don't you leave. So use me, pursue me, kiss me where you bruise me, ooh, you taste me, the fleshy part. I scream so loud, I curse the stars. You to touch somebody, touch me, to love somebody, love me, to trust somebody, you trust me. Go ahead and hurt somebody, 'cause I can see the light in you. Everybody wants somebody, I want you. Everybody got somebody, I got you. Come over and want my body, 'cause the love of my life. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're my life, baby, you're the love of my life. Oh, baby, keep me warm. Ooh, keep bring me back to life. Ooh, you make me lose my pride. Ooh, that love to keep me high. That's why I love you, baby. Trust you, baby. Love somebody, love somebody, love somebody, baby. You're my life. You're the love of my life. Your love keeps me high. Your love keeps me alive. Your love, good love, baby. Don't you ever switch it up. Talk to me nice, nice. Love of my life. Of my life. Baby, you're the love of my life. Love me, and baby, let me love you back. Touch me, please me, kiss me, boy. You're the love of my life. You are, yeah, you love to be lied to. Don't love it, say nothing. I know we'll meet again. This is how my lips are. Every time I walk away, 'Cause I only see you when it's 3 a.m. in California. Hit you with that 1, 2, ooh, hallelujah. I'm back in town again. I know I said it ain't wild. My friends are all enjoying life. The city's getting hot and now I'm fired up. I've been drinking all day and I'm tired. Waiting on you to make the first move. I'm waiting on you to notice. Waiting on you. I'm waiting on you to make the first. Waiting on you to notice. Waiting on you. Oh, why you acting like you're tired of me, tired of me? I know you want me. Why you lie to me, lie to me? Oh, why you acting like you're tired of me, tired of me? I know you want me. Why you lie to me, lie to me? 'Cause I only see you when it's 3 a.m. in California. Hit you with that 1, 2, ooh, hallelujah. I'm back in town again. I know I said it ain't wild. My friends are all enjoying life. The city's getting hot and now I'm fired up. I've been drinking all day and I'm tired. Waiting on you to make the first move. I'm waiting on you to notice. Waiting on friends who are all enjoying life. I'm waiting on you, drinking all day, waiting, I'm tired of. Drinking all day, waiting, I'm tired of. You like money, my guy? You laughing with your chest out, think that's funny? Haha. Don't nobody want their time wasted. I'm asking if you love me, why you making funny faces? I came a long way just to see you. Came a long way just to be here. 'Cause I only see you when it's 3 a.m. in California. Hit you with that 1, 2, ooh, hallelujah. I'm back in town again. I know I said it ain't wild. My friends are all enjoying life. The city's getting hot and now I'm fired up. I've been drinking all day and I'm tired. Waiting on you to make the first.
Hello everyone, can we please ask you all to take a seat? We're about to start the program shortly. Again, can we please ask everyone to take a seat? We're about to start the program. Hello, everyone. Can we please ask everyone to take a seat? We're about to start the program. Again, can we please ask everyone to take a seat? We're about to start the program. You can actually bring some of your food and drinks with you. Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Canva's Creative Lab. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. By the way, we're also live at YouTube for those watching us at Canva Philippines YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Yula Aralio. I am a creative lead here at Canva, but for today, I'll be your host. So outside of work, I'm actually a content creator and I share graphic design tips, hacks, and sometimes relatable problems that we share as creatives. So you can find me on TikTok and Instagram. Just search my name, Yula Aralio. But enough about me because we're here tonight for connection, learning, and to have fun. So can I have a show of hands? Who are graphic designers here? Show of hands, graphic designers. How about illustrators? Do we have illustrators here? Yeah. How about writers? Who are writers here? Anyone from advertising? Publishing? So thank you so much for coming tonight. And a big part of what makes the Canva experience so special and unique is the support of our Vibe team. Let's give them a round of applause. Vibe team. Everything that you're seeing tonight, the setup, the food, drinks, the ideas for Creative Lab was brought to life by our Vibe team. So thank you so much, Vibe. So in Creative Lab, we want to connect with our communities in the creative field. Tonight, we will let curiosity lead by welcoming various perspectives on how we can show up as creatives. So this event will be divided into three segments of impact. So that's global, local, and individual. So by exploring what makes impact look like and segmented into varied skills, we can hopefully find clues on how each of us can shape a better future with our creative skill sets and specialties. So we have an amazing lineup, as you see. So tonight is indeed very special because we have Cam Adams, one of Canva's co-founders and chief product officers. Yes, welcome back to Manila. And Cam will share the Canva story and how we are fulfilling our mission to empower the world design. We also have Angelo Cuyegeng, our design lead in the Philippines. And we have very special guests for tonight. We also have Liz Cabrera, partner and managing director from Dapat Studio, and Ana Oposa, co-founder of Save Philippine Seas. But that's not all, because we also have Canva's very own in-house creatives, Henry, Aids, Mika, and Jello, who will share how advocacy and design come together to make waves of change. So exciting. So here's what we can look forward to. We've already started to connect with one another, but you can definitely have more time in the evening. But for now, we're kicking it off with the program starting from our keynote speakers. Then we'll head into our fireside chat, and we'll finally wrap up and give everyone more time to connect with each other. So without further ado, and there's no better way to start Creative Lab's program than to call Cam on stage and take us on Canva's journey and mission of empowering the world to design for good. So Cam, we're so excited to have you here. Take it away.
Thank you, Eula. Whoop, there we go. Thank you, Eula, for bringing the energy and setting the tone for tonight. That was amazing. My name is Cameron. I am one of the co-founders of Canva and also Chief Product Officer here. Is this going to work? Kind of. You have to keep up with me. Where are we going? Whoop, too far. All right. It is fantastic to be here in Manila. It's actually been 4 years since I have been back. It was pre-pandemic, and it is so good to be here. You immediately feel the energy of Manila as soon as you land in the airport. And once you're in the city and meet all the wonderful Manilians, it just reminds me why we have an office here and why it is so important for us to support the Philippines. I thought with a room of amazing graphic designers, copywriters, advertising people, and creatives, I think I had to prove my credibility a little bit. So long before I founded Canva, the earliest piece of creative that I can remember producing was some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoons that I made in primary school. This was also the very first time that I saw creativity and commerce come together, because one day I was showing these comics around to the other kids at primary school, and one of them said, "I will give you $2 for this comic." And I was like, "Yes, please give me that $2. So there was an exchange there of design and services, and it gave me not only the taste for creating more stuff, but also the taste for being a bit entrepreneurial and making business design. Fast forward a few years, I ended up actually doing law and computer science in university. But all through university, I actually put myself through university doing design and working on things like the university newspaper. So I grew up in Melbourne, Australia, and there's a newspaper there called Farrago, and I did a lot of work for them designing the internal design. I got to design a few covers. I even did a bit of writing. And that really gave me the taste for graphic design and desktop publishing. And I kind of left behind my law degrees and my computer science degrees. And when I left university, I decided to pursue design. This was also around the time when, actually, hands up, who remembers what a floppy disk is? That's a surprising number of people. Second hands up, who remembers what Quark Express is? Wow, way less people than floppy disks. That's very surprising. This is around the time when desktop publishing was really becoming democratized. And Quark Express was the best desktop publishing application at the time. And it came on floppy disks. And I remember having to reinstall this many times because our computer kept crashing. And that was my first real introduction working as a graphic designer in a real business. This was also around the time when the internet was just becoming a thing. So I won't date myself too much, but sometime in the late 90s, I started putting together my very first website, and this was cutting edge web design at the time. I think web design has not held up as well as many other forms of design, so the designs that you see from 20 years ago definitely don't come to scratch, but this was pretty cutting edge at the time. And it started merging both my design sides and my technology sides, and that's what really began to interest me. I ended up writing a couple of books about JavaScript and programming, and that gave me a bit of notoriety in the scene. And eventually I wound up getting a job at Google. By this time I was in Sydney, Australia, which is where Google's main Australia office is. And I started working on this top secret project called Google Wave, which was a communication tool that aimed to revolutionize the way that we communicate, moving beyond email, moving into the world of real-time chat and collaboration. This was about 2007, so it's quite revolutionary and innovative at the time, well before many of the tools that we use today. It ultimately was a bit of a failure. We didn't manage to get it going as a product that people actually wanted to use outside of Google. But it taught me a ton about building products, about failure, and about what sort of teams it takes to actually build a great digital product. By the time I left Google, I actually got introduced to a couple called Melanie Perkins and Cliff Obrecht. And at the time, they were trying to get this idea off the ground, which was a way to democratize design and make an application that everyone could access. We decided to partner together because we saw in each of us the different parts of a three-legged stool that we would need to create an amazing product and an amazing business. What you can actually see on screen, which I've never shown publicly before, was actually a whole bunch of brand explorations that we did very early on for Canva to come up with the logo. I actually still like some of these, so I might rehash them for future businesses. But this was the beginnings of the Canva brand. And it's something we've really focused on over the years. And I think now we have built Canva into a much loved brand with an amazing brand team who work here and really explore every aspect of what the Canva brand can be. Our mission since the very early days has been to empower the world to design. And we firmly believe in this mission because we believe that design can change the way people think, it can change lives, and it can have an amazing impact. And the more people that can access that impact and access that superpower, the better the world is going to be. And that's why empowering the world to design has been a continuous mission over the last 11 years as we have built Canva. Empowering the world to design means that we need to empower everyone in the world, which includes folks here in the Philippines, as well as Mexico and India, and Indonesia and Spain, and of course Australia. And we need to allow them to design anything. And we mean literally anything, from a social media post to a video, to a website, to a t-shirt. We need to give them every ingredient that they need to design, whether that's amazing illustrations that illustrators have created, or video content that people have created, or the images and the fonts that they use in their presentations. We need to do it in every language because not everyone in the world speaks English. And they need to be able to use a product as faithfully and locally as they would any other product that has been tuned just for them. And the very last thing we focus on is doing it on every single device. Design shouldn't just be something that you do on an expensive laptop. It should be something that you can do on a really crappy Android phone or an iPad or a Chromebook or whatever device you have access to. And through these 5 pillars, we make sure that we are truly empowering the world to design, and it's a constant focus of ours. Our vision was brought about because we had experienced the world of design. I had experienced it from the professional side. Our CEO, Melanie Perkins, had experienced it from the side of being a university student trying to learn design. And we realized that design tools were really fragmented. There were lots of them. They didn't work together very well, and they were only accessible to professionals. We also realized that the world was becoming increasingly visual. People weren't just talking about documents anymore. They weren't sending around long swathes of text. They were starting to use more photography. They were starting to use video. They were using visuals as a way of communicating, and they didn't have the tools to do that with. Visual communication has now become a required skill across pretty much every single profession that you can think of, from being a hairdresser to being a marketer to being an engineer. Every profession that we can think of can benefit from visual communication. And the way that we've democratized design through Canva has enabled each of those industries to fully express themselves and get every single idea out of their head, present it to other people, and allow them to generate movement and have an impact that way. So what we set out to do was to take all of this, these tools that were swirling around design, all of the skills that people didn't have access to, all of the expensive parts of designing, meaning that it took weeks or months to actually do. And often it serviced the need where people just threw up their hands and said, I'm not even going to bother designing something. I'm not going to think about visually communicating. And we opened this up to everyone by integrating that entire design ecosystem onto one simple page. Canva was actually born in 2013. We launched on August 26, 2013, and we had an amazing reception. At the time, the people that really gravitated towards Canva were those who were just beginning to explore what visual communication meant in the age of the internet and in the age of social networks. We saw an incredible amount of social media marketers get really excited about Canva. We saw bloggers get really excited about Canva. And they were our first megaphones. They're the ones that talked about Canva, recommended it to their friends, and also really pushed the boundaries of what was possible in Canva and pushed us to make a better product, to get better content, to create more amazing design that they could access. Another sneak peek that you are the first people outside of Canva to see. This is actually the first interface design for Canva itself. So nowadays, you kind of think Canva is a very polished experience, but back in 2012, this is how it started, as a very simple wireframe that we slowly started to fill in with a good experience and the technology needed to build it. Since then, Canva has become a simple to use drag and drop platform. We've really focused on both the user interface and the user experience to make sure it's an experience that anyone in the world can approach, no matter what experience they have with design. And they have everything they need to design, every element, every video, every image, every font, every color palette, every illustration they need is at their fingertips. And one of the things we've launched in the last few years is the ability for you to faithfully collaborate inside Canva. And this has really blown open the market for us in interacting with teams and enterprises who have lots of people that need to collaborate on lots of different types of content. And they can only do that if real-time collaboration is part of the picture. And it also allows you to create compelling designs in seconds. You don't have to be on your laptop. You can simply use your thumb. You can jump on your phone. You can fire up the Canva app and you create a design in literally seconds. The last two things I'll mention about Canva all happened within the last year. So we held two really big events in the end of 2022 and at the start of 2023. And we called these Canva Create. And these were the very first public events that we'd done where we invited people in and we showed them all of the new stuff that we'd been building for the past year. At the very first Canva Create in 2022, we unveiled the Canva Visual Suite, which was a real statement of ours that Canva is now possible. It's possible in Canva now to design everything that you need from the start of your idea to the end of your idea. From the very early stages where you might just be typing out a few paragraphs describing what you want to see in the world, to a whiteboard that you might use to collaborate with some of your teammates, to a presentation that you can present a pitch deck for, to the videos that you're going to use in your marketing and the website that you might direct people to from there. Every aspect of that journey is now possible in Canva, and it leverages the strengths of Canva, the tool itself and the content to be able to produce every part of a design. The second part that we launched actually just 2 months ago, we called Magic Studio. And this is truly a breakthrough in cutting edge technology, and it employs the latest AI tech that is available on the market. A lot of it is developed in-house here at Canva. A lot of it we partner with other AI companies with. And we've also started building out an ecosystem of apps that allow any AI software developer, any in the world, to integrate their app deeply into Canva. Now from within Canva, you have access to over 60 different apps that do all sorts of different things, from producing AI music through to a presenter for your presentation, even through little sketches that sketch out in real time any image that you drop into Canva. But you're not here to hear a sales pitch for Canva. What you're actually here to listen to is about the power of design and the power of design to have an impact. When we started Canva, we not only wanted to build an amazing product, we also wanted to build a different company. A company that didn't just think about the bottom line, a company that really looked after every staff member that we had, that allowed them to grow, to have an impact, to think beyond just the work they did inside the office, and to leave the world a better place than when we started. We call this Canva's Step 2. And the reason we call it Step 2 is because we have a pretty simple 2-step plan. Step 1 is to build one of the world's most valuable companies. So I'm going to go back. Step 1 is build one of the most valuable companies in the world. And step 2 is to do the most good we can in the world. And these two really go hand in hand, because as we have built an amazing company and an amazing product, it has given us the resources to do more good in the world. It has given us the money we need to fund nonprofits. It has given us the staff we need who volunteer their time to work with nonprofits all over the world. It has given us the reach and the storytelling ability to tell the stories of those who aren't able to tell their stories themselves. And the beauty of this is that as we have rolled out Step 2 and done more good in the world, it actually enables us to do better in Step 1. Our customers resonate with Step 2. Our employees resonate with Step 2. The people who are affected by Step 2 resonate with it. And that then drives more value into Canva, because more great people want to come to work at Canva. The valuation of Canva itself rises, more revenue gets generated for Canva, and that then allows us to do even more good and then generate more value and do more good. It is truly a virtuous cycle, and one that we are very proud to have kickstarted. As part of Step 2, we actually have 4 different pillars. The pillars are quality education, empowering nonprofits, helping local communities, and ending extreme poverty. I'm going to go into each of these to give you a clearer idea of how they actually play out, and the different ways that we leverage all of the parts of Canva to make it happen. For quality education, our vision is to ensure that everyone in the world has access to high quality, free educational materials on Canva. This means that we generate a ton of free content, templates, worksheets, curriculum that is available to anyone in the world. And of course, the product itself is free, so any teacher or student can access Canva itself and use that content to learn, to teach, to become better. We also have a program called Canva for Education, where we actually give away all of the paid parts of Canva entirely for free to any teacher or any student anywhere in the world. We now have 35 million teachers and students who have access to Canva for Education, And we're continually looking for ways to grow that and to give access to more people. We have 375 skills lessons that we have produced, ranging from partners with NASA, the New York Times. They've all put curriculum content on Canva, which is really engaging, approaches education from a different way, and allows teachers to bring students into a brave new world of educational material that actually teaches them in a way that they're interested in. And we also have 500,000 applies of that future skills content. We launched that about 2 months ago. So that means in that 2-month time, 500 people have gone through those courses and learnt in a different way inside Canva. The second pillar that we have is empowering nonprofits. And we strongly believe that Canva can also be a superpower for nonprofits. And I think you'll hear a bit from some nonprofits we've worked with quite recently. Our vision with this pillar is to empower every nonprofit with visual communication tools to amplify their impact and achieve their goals. To do this, we do have a Canva for Nonprofit program, and we give Canva entirely away for free to any nonprofit anywhere in the world. They just need to submit an application showing that they're a validated nonprofit, and then their whole team gets onto Canva. We now have 500,000 nonprofits on this program, and those nonprofits have created 73 million designs in 2023 alone, which is an amazing number. And when you think about what those designs do in terms of raising funds, nonprofit, finding homes for people that they're working with, helping people with diseases, helping them find meals and food, every one of those designs has an impact. And it's amazing to see these tendrils of Canva going out and helping them in some way. We also have a gift matching program inside Canva. So anyone in Canva who donates to a nonprofit, we will match that. And we've done $178,000 of gift matching in the time of that program. On screen now, you can see a few of the organizations that we work with and who have also been Canva for Nonprofit partners. It ranges from Opera America, who work with people with cancer, through to the Fistula Foundation and Amnesty International, who fight for human rights. The third pillar of our Step 2 plan that we have is helping local communities. Canva now has quite a reach around the world. We've actually got 8, maybe 10 offices around the world now. And they're in places like Manila, the Philippines. We have an office in Sydney. We have one in Beijing, in London, in Vienna, in Prague, in Austin, and in San Francisco. And we encourage each of those hubs to interact with their local community, because we realize that every place that Canva has an office, it has ripple effects. It has a presence. It has an ability to make change and work with that community in a way that works for them. So encourage each of the offices to think about their communities and figure out how they want to benefit those communities. So our vision is to positively impact those communities through local projects and volunteering. And we also have a keen focus in those programs on ending homelessness. We have, through our volunteering programs, we've delivered over 12,500 hours of volunteering. And it's amazing when you look at a few of the projects that those volunteers have participated in, particularly here in the Philippines, which is amazing. We have 65,000 meals that have been donated for local communities. We actually have amazing kitchen staff in every one of our offices, particularly here in Manila. So big shout out to the Vibies. We've eaten a lot of the food that you'll eat tonight. And we've donated a lot of their time. They've been very gracious in donating their time to helping create meals for a lot of people in need, particularly throughout COVID, when a lot of people were experiencing hardship, where it was hard to access food, where a lot of people were ignored. The kitchen staff were gracious enough to put their efforts into delivering meals throughout that. We also have delivered 255 meals through what we call a community laundry. And this is a special project that we've developed in Sydney, and we're keen to roll it around the world, where we've created a special place where individuals who are suffering extreme need can come in and get the support they need. And it's on a one-on-one basis. We have a caretaker inside the community laundry, and a person comes in for the day, and they spend time just to kind of pull themselves together, to feel a bit special, to get a meal, to get their laundry done, to learn something, to work on a project that they think is really going to help them move their lives forward. And it's actually an amazing space, and we're keen to roll that out here in the Philippines as well. On screen now, you can see a few examples of the volunteering that we do. It does range from providing meals. It also includes workshops for nonprofits. It includes going out to nonprofit sites and helping them with whatever their mission is, whether that's sorting clothes that can go to the needy, cooking meals, working on environmental projects on the land, working on medical projects. It truly is amazing the diversity of projects that volunteers have put their hands to. The very last pillar of step 2, and one in which we've deployed a lot of resources to date, is in ending extreme poverty. We want to work towards a world without extreme poverty. And there are many areas of the world that are experiencing this. But we're taking a slightly experimental approach to this through our organization, which we call the Canva Foundation. The Canva Foundation has been working a lot in these spaces and also in particular areas in the world. The Canva Foundation has donated almost 50% of its resources towards 2 particular programs. One is Give Directly, which does direct cash grants to those in need. And the other is the Prevail program, which focuses on bringing education to people and parts of the world who aren't able to access it. Through our direct cash grants with Give Directly, we have actually given 65,000 people money through these direct cash transfers. And you'll see a video in a second of the impact that this has had. It is truly amazing when you don't take a paternalistic approach to helping people out and you just give them the means to do it themselves. It is amazing what they can achieve and the various and diverse different things in which they put that money to use. We've also, through the Prevail program so far, given 411 children a better education through a program that they call structured pedagogy, which is a way of delivering materials and also delivering teachers that will help generation in the places of. So as I mentioned, we're working with an organization called Give Directly to give no strings attached cash to people in extreme poverty. They get to spend it on what needed the most of them. That might be feeding themselves, it might be putting a roof on their house, it might be buying a mattress because they don't have somewhere to sleep, it might be buying a goat because that's part of their farm, or it could even be buying equipment for their bicycle repair store because that's the business that they want to build. So far, we've focused on a particular area in Malawi. Malawi is one of the most impoverished countries in the world. And this area of Congoni in Malawi is one of the most impoverished areas in Malawi. So it's the neediest of the needy. And through this program, we have delivered cash grants to 64,500 people in that region. It's a real partnership with Give Direct. They're trying a lot of new stuff through the efforts that we've delivered. And we've also partnered quite deeply with them, not just for the money that we give, but also through the skills and resources that we can apply through Canvanauts that also help them out. To give you a better idea of the impact that cash grants can have, I'm going to play this short video for you, and hopefully it tells a nice story for you.
I'm
hoping you can read that.
mwasintha mmoyo mwathu muno monso mudzi muno mwasintha ndithu kwambiri.
Ambiri ndalama zija azigwiritsa ntchito mwamangidwa manyumba, akhoma malata, agula ziweto, zinjinga zimene tunenazi zili mudzi muno.
Mbiri zapangisa kuti nthumbizezi ziyende kutsogolo chifukwa choti anthu amabwera kudzawuza njinga zimene agulazo, basi ife kumachiteka ndalama, basi kumatipatsawo.
Mathandizo amenewa abweretsa kusintha chifukwa ngati kumbali ana sukulu amathandizira kwambiri ku nkhani ya school fees zomwe zikuwathandiza kumbali ya maphunziro awo.
Kulandira ndalama kumene talandirako kwasintha umoyo wa mbanja langa, komanso umoyo wa ine ndekha wasinthika kwambiri chifukwa zambiri zimene ndimazisowa ndazipeza.
Patsogolo ndi pali nkhani pamenepo ngasika lidapita lero niliziuliona litsogololo ndi limakhala loti limavutilako pena komabe limaonekako ngasiya.
I hope you had your binoculars in order to read those subtitles, but I think you can see the incredible hardship that a lot of these people live through, but also the hope that they get when they're given this cash, and the really diverse and meaningful ways in which they can put that to use for them. It's an amazing project, and we're doing a lot of longitudinal research and studies give directly to see the impact of these cash grants, and ultimately to scale them up and see how they can apply all around the world for all people who are in need. So I think through the last couple of minutes that I've been through and the 4 pillars of our Step 2 plan and the whole ethos which we built Canva, I think you can see the passion that we have for having an impact and bringing change. And we truly believe power design to have this impact. Through the ways that we volunteer, through the programs that we fund, even here in the Philippines, it is amazing to see volunteers throw up their hand, come up with new ideas, and help in a really contextual and local way. On the screen at the moment, you can see a few of the ways that the local team have volunteered in Manila and beyond. And one of my favorite projects that they helped out with was the community pantries that sprang up during COVID, which had an amazing impact of getting food to people who really needed it. And the Canva team here played a role in not only funding them and making them happen, but providing them with signage and the ability to spread even further and farther. I think we're all extremely proud of the work that we did through that period. So tonight is all about design having a positive impact. And you're going to hear from a few people who have put this into action, and I'm excited to hear from them. So let's get on to the people you really want to hear from. And thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Cam, for that powerful message. And to be honest, you know, that is one of the reasons why we take pride in the designs that we create in Canva, because of its impact to various communities. And you know, it's truly inspiring to design for good, but it's always a challenge to even begin. Seeing that blank canvas, we may have countless questions in our minds, such as, how can we even make this thoughtful, useful? But it always starts with, how should we even design this? So we've invited someone who has spent a decade of designing for social good in the Philippines. Let's meet Liz Cabrera, partner and managing director of Dapat Studio. So Liz, she will share Dapat Studios. Dapat Studios 10-year experiences.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Eula, and also a big congratulations to the Canva Philippines team for even organizing this event, and also for launching Canva Creative Lab. It's such an amazing thing to have this space to talk about how we can use design for good. And I think that's a really, really special thing that we have here. So just to get right down to it, again, my name is Liz Cabrera. I'm from Dapat, and we are a Filipino design studio for social good. And one fun fact about us is that we've been around for over a decade already. But just a couple of months ago, you must have known us as Works of Heart. So we recently rebranded to Dapat, But how did we exactly get from here to here? What were the epiphanies that had to happen for us to eventually lead us to decide that we wanted to change not just visually, but also how we wanted to show up as a Filipino design studio for social good in the Philippines? So today we're going to look at the in-betweens, the stories that happened in between from when we first started to somewhere in the middle, and then eventually catching up to today. And from all of that, we'll share our hopes for how we can shape tomorrow, pixel by pixel. So I already see a lot of parallels with our story and also Cam's story. And just to start from the very beginning, Works of Heart actually was founded by a group of friends who saw the potential of good design in raising awareness for fundraisers and also mission-based organizations. And I want to share 3 fun facts about this time period. One, there was this Philippine Inquirer article that called the Philippines the NGO capital of the world. Although it's not an official title, it does lead us to see that there's so many NGOs at different fronts, at different parts of the Philippines, working any different initiatives for social good. The second fun fact is this is also around the time when social enterprises and social entrepreneurs came into the limelight. That leads us to believe that consumers were becoming more intentional and also more conscious about their purchases. The third fun fact is we're actually batchmates with a lot of design studios that you know today. Series Studio and a half, plus 63, and I just found out from Camstock, we're also pretty much batchmates with Canva as well. So that leads us to see that around this time, graphic design was becoming more and more widely recognized as a career, as a practice, and for its overall value in the Philippines. Oops, sorry. Just to share some of the projects that we were able to do during this time period. Like I mentioned, we worked with a lot of social enterprises like Cape Maria. They work to support local farmers. We work with Gugu, who transforms traditionally hand-woven textiles from Bicol region into bags. And the project I really want to highlight, I forgot to mention Ashoka, who is also a network of global change makers. And the project I wanted to highlight is our work with Doctors to the Barrios. So this is a project by DOH, and the 2 main challenges that they faced was the medical community was not aware, there was a lack of awareness among the medical community about the program. So people weren't signing up. And then for people who actually knew about the program, they didn't know how to apply. So when you looked it up, you would just really see a description, but there's no instructions on how to apply. So when we launched the website, the number of applications increased from before the website was just around 80. The next batch was 100 plus, and then the next batch became 200 plus. So we sent a lot of doctors to far-flung places just through designing this website. So at this point, Works of Heart existed at the intersection of passion and purpose. We had a passion for design, and we also had a strong sense of purpose. And at the same intersection existed an opportunity for design, specifically visual design, to be used for good. That same opportunity exists today and continues to grow. The fact that we're still around 10 years and we see Canva doing a lot more good things is really proof of that. So fast forward to 5 years later, and this is when we started to realize that Heart wasn't enough to keep doing what we're doing. And that's really a funny thing to realize when Heart was really literally part of our brand name. But I'll walk you through some of the projects that help us distill the kind of lessons that would later on lead us to our rebrand. So the first project I want to talk about is the Martial Law Museum. So this is an informational website for researchers, students, and teachers about the period of martial law in the Philippines. And the 3 main sections corresponded to the kinds of actions we wanted to encourage around the topic of martial law. Mag-aral, to learn. Magturo, to teach. Manindigan, to take action. And we consulted also public school teachers on how we should design this website. The next project is called Kwentong San Andres, or Stories from San Andres. So this web design project was with a group of human rights lawyers called Center Law. So they were working with the community in San Andres who experienced numerous human rights violations and has lost loved ones during the drug war. This website serves as a way to publicly document their community's experiences and also the lawyers' experience in building their case. And somewhere along the process, we were also able to kind of help them collectively heal from this experience, because when they showed this website to them, some of them eventually gained the courage to share their stories as well. They saw their peers share their stories, so they gained the courage themselves to add to this case, to share their stories so that they can also collectively fight for what they think is right. So the thing to pick from these two projects is it became apparent to us that not all stories worth telling are and have to be beautiful. We also have to be ready as creatives to tell the ugly truth when necessary. And that was a big lesson from us from these two projects. The next project I wanted to talk about is something called Creative Connect. So this is a studio-led initiative, which meant that we proposed the project, and then we had our partners from Ashoka and also Bosch Foundation to fund this. And it's basically a social impact and design exchange where we assign team members to immerse in the operations of an NGO or social enterprise and then come up with a design proposal. So I really have fun talking about this project because there's so much to really learn from it. So the first one, they were the ones who were sent to the farthest location, QC, Quezon City. So they were partnered with a social enterprise called Happy Noy. They work with market entrepreneurs, particularly sari-sari stores. So this is the kind of brand identity that they proposed in the hopes of basically addressing the barrier to the service of their customers that they find it too complex. So they tried to simplify it and create these tita kits, so that they call, so mga titas that own sari-sari stores. So they have posters that they can put up on their sari-sari store to tell them, hey, we're Happy Shop. And then we also have informal poster, Happy Shop, operational stuff then to help them with the admin side. The next team was sent to South Korea. So this is a social venture called Kao Kao, and they put together two very seemingly unrelated issues. So apparently, Korea had a overproduction of milk, which leads to milk waste. So that's really interesting, I think, coming from the Philippines. And they also saw that a lot of modern toys for kids contain a lot of lead. So it's not safe for them if they accidentally ingest it. So they created this clay toy line made out of milk waste that's safe for kids. So since they were pretty much new, they proposed a brand identity inspired, of course, by the clay, and really the intersection of safe design, safe play, and safe education for a safer world. And because it is Korea and it is targeted towards kids, they also created these fun little characters. Sorry, I keep hitting the thing. Sorry about that. Okay. The next one, they were sent to Malaysia. So this is a nonprofit called My Readers, and their goal is to build a nation of readers. The design proposal was focused on helping My Readers equip and also celebrate their mission and mentors. So I do want to point out the logo design. It was inspired by what they saw during the sessions. So what they would do is that they would open a book, and then you have the student and the volunteer read together and point at the same text. And that's what inspired the logo. So can you make sure that the video is playing in the upper left? Okay, I think the video is not playing, but yeah, we'll just skip to the next one. So the next one is the second farthest group. They were sent to Palawan. I say they, but I'm actually part of this group. So that's me talking to the local Department of Tourism there, because the enterprise that we were working with is a local tour operator called Kawil Tours. And it's actually, they operate in an island that's a lesser known neighbor of Coron called Culion. So for those who don't know about Culion, Culion is actually a leper colony of the Philippines. So back in the day when they didn't have a cure for leprosy yet, people would send their family members with leprosy to this island, and they were basically isolated from the rest of the world. But by 2006, they were finally declared leprosy-free. But despite this, they still face a lot of stigma and also challenges in promoting their own tourism, even though they were just very close neighbors to Coron. So our design proposal, including refreshing their branding, also creating icons for the different experiences and packages. And then we also created this web design for them to basically help them kind of streamline their booking and also promote their tour operations. So I just want to share a little anecdote. One of my favorite memories from this experience is we went to the Crowning Glory Reef, which is basically a very lush, colorful, and virtually untouched type of coral reef where you would see coral reefs that are red, blue, purple, and they also have this table coral reefs that's were the size of giant dining tables. And they would say that, and one of the tour guides said that they saw table corals in other parts of the land kasi platito lang. So that's how amazing this coral reef was, just in the middle of like swimming in this majestic coral reef. Kuya Renly, one of the founders and also our tour guide for that day, said, meron kami ganito ngayon dahil sa nangyari. And that really struck me because it gave me an idea of how he processed past in order to share the idea of the present. And that eventually kind of inspired our tagline for the web design, which is experience the Calamian Islands from the heart and eyes of a local. Okay, so at this point, we articulate how we felt was what we felt was missing. We not only needed passion and purpose, we also needed to be grounded and brave. Grounded in a sense that we need to make an effort to understand the context. So that's what we did with the previous projects and also immersing in the different operations of nonprofits. And we also need to be brave. Brave in a sense that we see design as an act of hope, to look at our current realities and dare to imagine how things could be better. That's bravery. And we later on call this intersection social imagination. So we're more or less caught up into the present, and one of the main prompts of this talk is really, how do we envision the future with design? So this is the kind of question we tend to ask ourselves each and every year, but in different ways. During our launch exhibit and event, we also shared this question with all of the attendees. What do Filipinos deserve? And how can design help? Or in Tagalog, ano ang karapat-dapat para sa mga Pilipino? At paano makakatulong ang design? So this is where our name comes from. Not in the sense that we're saying there's only one way to do things and design things, but rather it's the attempt to figure out how to best do things and do right by the people that we're trying to serve. Our name is a reminder of what we hope to achieve through design, ang nararapat para sa lahat, or what people deserve. So I do want to share this question again, ano ba dapat? So you might ask this question in a casual conversation or when you do projects, right? Paano ba dapat natin to design? Ano ba dapat yung kailangan natin gawin? It's something that we tend to ask ourselves, but the caveat with this question is, when you ask this question to a group of people from the same background, you'll more or less get similar answers, right? And of course, if you ask the wrong group of people, you'll get answers based on assumptions. And the thing about assumptions is, it can be true, can be partly true, or it can miss the mark completely. But imagine if we share this question to more people, and most especially the right people. You're more likely to discover a direction that can make it more meaningful to your audience. So that is something that we did for the communities of our project called Makabatang Tindahan. The goal of the project was to promote child-centered homes or Makabatang Tahanans in 2 pilot communities. The Makabatang Tindahan served as an information hub embedded their communities for resources and materials that the kids and parents can access about children's rights and welfare. So there were already existing literature about what a child-centered home was, but we wanted to understand what a child-centered home looked like for these communities. So we asked them that question. What does a Makabatang Tahanan look like? We did this vision boarding exercise with them, and these are some of their answers. And the fun thing about these answers is, we asked them what a Makabatang Tahanan looks like And yet you see pictures of basketball courts, of other homes, the church, daycare centers, what else? And we also get to see like a see-through X-ray of a house of people eating together. And that means, or that evoked to us that their idea of a home really extended to communal spaces. And there are also a lot of depictions of people coming together and doing stuff together. So we eventually landed on this creative direction centered around the idea of sama-sama. With the visuals, we wanted to evoke what our homes could look like if we meaningfully and joyfully come together, or masayang pagtitipon. So the visuals included expressive and cheerful characters. We use vibrant and varied colors. We use overlaying elements just to really hone into that maximalist style, inspired by how it's not necessarily a very organized Japanese style of home that we have here in the Philippines. And we wanted to really like honor and celebrate that as well. And we also had a playful and readable typography. And I also want to point out, we and also the clients are very conscious about gender stereotyping. So you can see the dad is the one cooking in this illustration. And then you'll also see the mom playing with the kids with the basketball and all. So we were very conscious about that. And these are some of the materials where we applied the creative direction to. That is a floor decal that is patintero that said, "Tara na sa makabatang tindahan." And just 2 weeks, nag-fade siya because the kids played on it so much. And that was a really nice story to hear from them. So we had to reprint again so the kids can still play. So at the beginning, we talked about we needed to have this intersection of passion and purpose. And then we talked about this intersection called social imagination between being grounded and being brave. So in this chapter, what we wanted to highlight was the intersection of people, the intersection of designers, partners, experts, and even the beneficiaries themselves, because we have seen our best work come out when we have shared that power to design. And I feel also Canva resonates with this kind of messaging. We also believe that design, particularly visual design, can't really solve all of our problems, but it truly takes a village working at various fronts to tackle complex and systemic issues. With what this simply means is that we need to work together. This theme is also embodied in our philosophy for transformation through participative design. It's about providing opportunities for stakeholders to take part in the process and actively making room for people to share their ideas. For this, for us, participative design is not just a service, but rather an approach and philosophy we integrate into our process. And this can actually look different and come in different forms. So I'll just show some examples of what participative design looks like in some other projects. So this is Pitaka Ko, an early financial literacy game. And the participative aspect of this is we prototype the mechanics and materials with public school teachers. So they pretended to be the kids themselves. This next one, we worked with Empath PH, a social enterprise making mental health accessible here in the Philippines, to integrate mental health modules into reintegration programs for persons deprived of liberties, or PDLs. So we conducted a brainstorming session with family members of PDLs, former PDLs, and even a current PDL about to be released. And that meant that he joined the online session while he was in prison. So we had to really work with our partners here to be able to provide him with the technology and space to be able to share what they also thought about mental health. We're also about to conclude this project called Shift, where we were the creative buddies that helped 2 youth groups come up and implement a campaign addressing the high number of teenage pregnancies in their communities. So the messaging that really came out from this is, "Oy, huwag mo awkward," so we can talk about sexual health. And then the next one is, "May liwanag kapag may paliwanag." So we really felt that we can reach brighter futures if we are able to also address these certain issues in an enlightened way. And that is when this question comes into play. with each project that we do, what is the future that we imagine? And when we design with people, the plurality of futures becomes more apparent. It's the idea that a good future can look and be different to different people. So that is why at Dapat, we're a studio designing the futures we deserve. So when we strive for a just, joyful, and equitable world, a world that we think everyone deserves, we strive to achieve many futures. So how do we exactly shape tomorrow pixel by pixel? As we have seen through our journey, our idea of how design can help people can really evolve and grow. But we'd like to share this kind of design we strive for at Dapat because it is also the kind of design we hope to see in our futures. We hope to see design with integrity, meaning good projects also deserve good design. We hope to see people design in context because we also need to be aware of and design in the context of everyday life to understand where we're coming from to be able to meaningfully create designs. And then we also need to be design bravely. We need, especially when we're facing a lot of problems and issues, to see that and face that, but with a sense of hope. To be able to see that and also see and imagine creatively, how can we address this or how can we imagine a better future for all of us? And then we also need to design with people. We need to work together. So with the many futures ahead of us, let's be brave together. Let's design the futures we deserve.
Thank you so much, Liz, for that inspiring message. And this definitely gives us a wider perspective from global now to local impact of designing for good, especially for us creatives who get caught up in the work. This encourages us to reflect on the designs that we create and how much it affects our communities. So now you might be thinking, I'm just a simple graphic designer or say a copywriter with limited skill sets and connections. How can I possibly make an impact? Well, for the next set of speakers, that's exactly what we're gonna dive into. So let's hear it from Canva's in-house creatives and Anna Oposa on how advocacy and design can come together and create ripples of change and hope.
Hello, maayong gabi, good afternoon. So many talks to begin with inspiration, but this one will start with some realness. As designers, craft is something we do every day here at Canva. It's our pride, but also can be our pain. Di ba, AIDS?
Yes, tama. Inspiration can so easily turn into frustration. So let's not just dip our toes into the issue, but let's dive right in with our graphic designers, Mika and Jello.
Hello. Hello, hi everyone. I'm Mika. I'm a designer, and outside of Canva, I'm also a photographer and a full-time mom.
Hi, I'm Jello, and I'm a graphic designer and a sort of part-time baker at night. And I also love to dabble into motion and type. And I've always seen design as an expression of message that can stride waves to an audience.
So yes, Jello and I, we both create templates here in Canva. And as designers, it's so easy to get used to the work that comes with the role. And since we're doing it so often, designing has become second nature to us that we forget what it means to be a good designer. So let's answer this question. What does it mean to be a good designer? Do you have to be a technical expert? Do you have to prove yourself by working on big projects? Or is it about working with nonprofits?
Yes, because sometimes I feel like us designers set such high standards for ourselves that we want to try to do all of that, to be the best, to be the most skilled, to have that brilliant portfolio that sometimes we don't realize that what's simple for us is actually the root of more amazing ideas and learning for other people. Designing for good can be no different from our day-to-day. It's the same principles we use, just different intentions and channels, right? So what do you think, AIDS?
I agree. Intention and perception can really play a part in defining the value of our craft. I'm AIDS. I've worked in communications and the media for startups and NGOs, but here now in Canva, I'm a copywriter together with, sorry, Kena. In the next slide. Sorry. Right. Together with Kena, who played a key role but couldn't be with us here today. And for us, it's even a more fundamental question. What is the role of our craft, copywriting, in a world where design is usually more graphic and visual? Does what we write even make a difference? So I remember Kena telling me about her North Star. When she hears stories, she feels something. Like she's either inspired or touched or pushed to take action. And she feels like it's our responsibility as writers to tell a story that moves even just one person. If we can do that, if we can make them feel or do something, then that's our mission accomplished. Your thoughts, Henry?
So yeah, thank you, AIDS. So I'm Henry, a Canvanaut, a creative producer. I've been practicing multimedia design, on motion, video editing, and filmmaking in the creative industry. So as someone who grew up in Mactan, Cebu, I have always felt a strong connection within the sea. But however, over time, our waters are becoming increasingly polluted. This is a major concern. What the ecosystem in our area. I've often wondered, how do I step in to help? So in this conversation, I will share my way of answering that question by showing how visual design, storytelling as an art form, combined with motion design, was able to evoke a narrative for a cause. We might think we're just drops in an ocean, but I firmly believe that even a tiny step is still a step. Drops, however small, maybe creates ripples. And what ripples can be, that ripples of change, where we talk about the role of craft in design for good. During our time here at Canva, we've been fortunate enough to contribute to Force for Good volunteering activities that help us leverage our craft to contribute to a bigger cause. The first ripple started in 2020. With this video we made a nonprofit Save for Philippine Seas. Please watch. So prior to joining in Canva, I was already aware of its Force for Good initiatives. I love how volunteerism is part of the culture, and it's one of the reasons why I joined the company. It is an opportunity that I was tapped to contribute as early as my second month here in Canva. Okay. Um, the project I got involved in was a great to answer that question. Where can I do to help? It allowed me to use my skills in motion design for a greater good. Editing and motion design are powerful mediums. They immerse us in the creative process, assembling a narrative, animation, and sound design. For this project, not only was I able to bring story to life, but I also got to live up my values. It was a very, very powerful experience because my personal motivations and the organizational objectives were in perfect alignment. What I learned from this was we need to learn how to appreciate ourselves as designers in the industry. We were given a gift and it has a purpose. We can be movers for change. We can be the voice for the unheard, whether it's for social or global impact. Finally, like any other videos, short or long form, it really takes a village to deliver an output. If it weren't for this team from performance marketing and friends back then, this wouldn't be a successful project. So thank you so much. I'm Henry, and I'm passing the mic to Jello and Mika.
Thank you so much, Henry. That project that he just showed you, that was just the beginning of our partnership with Save Philippine Seas. SPS reached out to us on many more occasions, and we were lucky enough to be a part of the most recent one, which was the conservation workshop. It's a workshop designed to help those in the conservation industry improve their communication skills. So Jello and I volunteered to facilitate the branding portion of that workshop and an existing deck that we could use as a foundation for the talk. But since it was a generic deck, Anna had already seen and heard the content from that deck. So Jello and I, we decided to make a few changes to improve the deck and give like a bigger impact to the workshop that we were doing and also make it more relevant to the audience that were joining that workshop. So here are a couple of the pages from the deck that we presented to them. Staying true to Canva's values, we tried to make complex things simple. Since we were talking to non-designers, we didn't want to use jargons. We wanted to stick to the basics, brand versus branding. We had to contextualize design to the local lens, emphasizing that design isn't just for creatives. So design is for everyone who wishes to improve their messaging. So like Cam mentioned earlier, everyone can benefit from having good visual communication. We used other nonprofits as case studies, and it was nice to see how engaging the crowd was with the content that we were presenting to them. It was in that workshop that Alan and I realized how unifying design can be.
Exactly. As what we've been mentioning throughout the past hour, we realize that what's simple for us as creatives is actually that light bulb moment for others. Our craft is that, you learn something new every day moment for others. And in that workshop, that's what happened. And it could even be a lesson that changes how you operate and do things. I had that conversation with my friends recently on how one small, little conversation on an everyday time, it can change the way you're going to think about things. We get so used to doing those day-to-day projects that we forget how our design principles, what we use, aren't common knowledge for everybody. And we can actually empower and upskill others with it. And that's what we did here. As what I've said, we really operate with the same design principles. It can be for our day job, our freelance, our volunteering efforts. And this workshop was no different. Designing for good is the same, we use the same principles, just in different intentions and channels. And I'm reminded that every day is really an opportunity to design for good, even in the smallest of things. And it doesn't have to be scheduled or it's like a big event, a circumstance that you'd prepare for, because really sometimes the simpler things are, the greater the impact it has. And just like that, in our case, taking a step back really helped us to create those even bigger ripples of change. But some ripples need some brand new sprinkling, and I'm handing it over to A to talk about the other part of the workshop.
Thanks, Jello. So, Kena and I participated in that same workshop that Jello and Mika participated in, but from a different side of the universe. Aside from branding fundamentals, they also wanted us to tackle copywriting 101. It was the first time Canva was tapped for copywriting. It's really always design. So we volunteered in a heartbeat until we realized, teka, first time, no existing deck, no materials whatsoever. So, So to counter our panic, we tried to inject some fun. We decided to try our hand in designing, but thank you, Jello, for helping, of course. And we came up with what we call a work zine or the workshop zine, so that people had something to engage with, to take home, something tangible to refer back to after the workshop. So that was a lot of fun designing. So SPS was very proactive in supplying us with the information about the participants, so we could tailor our workshop to their needs. So I did copywriting essentials and giving them a quick copy checklist that is, of course, catchy in a mnemonic. And Kena tackled content strategy for various channels in her talk, Sophisticated Stories. So yes, we had our fun with all of this. This workshop unlocked a whole new skill set for us. We are used to being behind the scenes, just writing, telling the stories ourselves. But in this conservation workshop, while we didn't exactly get to tell a story, we found ourselves in a position to help these conservationists tell their story, and their story matters. So when communicated properly, the best and most important stories can make the impact that it needs and spur people to action. But you don't have to believe my version of the story. It just so happens that Ana Oposa, a fellow pun lover and executive director / chief mermaid of SPS, is here. So come on up, Ana.
Thank you, Aid. Thank you, Canvanauts. Wow, my fans club. Okay, hi everyone. I'm Anna. I am the Chief Mermaid and Executive Director of Say Philippine Seas. And over a decade ago when SPS started, I used to introduce myself as a storyteller by profession and a marine conservationist by passion. I was a freelance writer, I was a musical theater performer, and I majored in English because I just wanted to read and write. But I used to be so insecure about not having a marine biology degree. But then after a while, I realized that my skills as a speaker, as a writer, as a community builder, as an extrovert were very crucial in this field. So now I introduced myself as a marine conservationist by profession and a storyteller by passion. And in Say Philippine Seas, we're passionate about, or maybe even obsessed with, creating materials that are fun, understandable, and relatable. Because the problems of the sea are serious, but we don't have to take ourselves too seriously. And we use Canva almost every day. So you'll see here on the screen just some of the materials that we've created. So the Marine Litter Learning Kit is a facilitator's guide where we teach leaders and community champions and teachers about the impacts of marine litter. And our designer is actually here in the audience, Isa, hi. Wow, my shout out. And is Change the Current. We created a suite of teaching materials for climate change adaptation and mitigation. And these are already being used in 150 public schools across the Philippines. And finally, most recently, we worked with Marine Wildlife Watch of the Philippines to develop the Shark Conservation and Fisheries Management Framework. So the materials that we design in Canva are changing minds, habits, policies, and systems. The partnership with Canva started in 2020 when I was invited. I was so excited to be invited to speak here and on this very stage. And Yanni and I were in the same panel, and we spoke on this panel called Instigating Change in Institutions. And that afternoon, casually, Yanni and Chardy said, hey, if you have any collaboration ideas, email. So I did, sabi nila eh. So, di ba? And then that's when the animated video started, and then a virtual workshop with Gladys. And then we asked them to speak at our conservation workshop most recently. And as social scientists, of course, we create qualitative and quantitative data. So you can see here on the screen, we asked our participants how they felt before and after the conservation workshop, and it showed that their confidence increased. And the video that you saw earlier, we use that now to introduce SVS to our partners and potential funders. So you can see that the impact is really there. They have helped us build our communication and design and storytelling skills. And these are all that environmentalists and conservation realize how important that is. So we also asked our conservationists what their biggest key takeaways are. And some of them said that it really helped transform how they think of their stories, that they even quoted some of the things that they said, that branding is not just logo, and they reflected on the power of storytelling to make an impact, and how they can make their causes shine even more with the right design, visual, and words. And these were the light bulb moments that Jello mentioned earlier. So you see the impact already, but I want to emphasize that everything began with individuals sharing the stage with me, and they planted seeds and were amplified. So these Canvanauts may not have directly worked on marine conservation projects, but they empowered others to advocate for their causes more effectively. And the partnership between SPS and Canva is just one of the many potential collaborations. Just imagine if all the nonprofit organizations could harness the power of design through people who have the skills and the heart for the cause. What might the future look like?
That's powerful, Anna, and immensely hopeful. Wow. But really, seriously, it takes time and persistent, concerted efforts to change a landscape, but it's possible.
That's right, Ace. Designing for good doesn't have to be grand, or in Tagalog, hindi kailangan sobrang bongga.
Tama. Whatever it is that you're good at, your craft, that really is your power.
Like us, you may feel like a tiny drop in an ocean of possibilities, but imagine if each of us here uses the power that we have, our own unique drop of craft to create a ripple.
And with that, can you imagine the change we can create? Right? So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna, AIDS, Henry, Mika, and Jello. Wow, it's so inspiring to see what you guys do. I actually work with some of these creatives on a day-to-day basis. AIDS is actually my copywriter. So it's so inspiring to see what you guys do outside of work, basically reminding us that as creatives, we are not limited. And in fact, all of you guys remind us that we actually have what it takes to be champions for good. So we'll be taking a quick break for 10 minutes. So feel free to stretch your legs, go grab some food, have a drink, connect with one another before we move to the second part of the program. And I'd also like to invite Chef Doreen for our hospitality experience team to come up on stage to quickly share tonight's menu. Chef! Let's go, Chef!
Hello, everyone. Good evening. So, first of all, I'm sorry, I'm very, very nervous. So, I might start to shake while I talk, but I'm okay. All right. So, first, I want to welcome you all to Canva's Culinary Adventure. So, today we have familiar dishes that we've created an experimental twist to them. So we have, first up, we had some arancini balls, which are Italian classics that are stuffed with grilled squid. And then we also had surf and turf with a tangy and zesty tomato sauce. And then followed by, I think that was vegan cups with a burst of tomato flavor and balsamic vinaigrette. And then lastly, we also had, can't remember the last one. But as I speak now, we're already bringing out the main dishes, which are beef tenderloin bites. So this time we were wrapping it, instead of wrapping the beef in puff pastry, we decided to show you what's inside. So a Wellington usually is hidden inside the puff pastry, but this time we want you to see the beauty of each ingredient. And then also we have some desserts. So we have creme brulee, that's gonna break all the savory stuff. And we have tiramisu cookies. Thank you and enjoy.
Thank you so much, Chef Doreen. It's so nice to see you outside here on stage. Because usually she's at the kitchen, right? Oh, so you guys can actually go ahead and grab some food again. Feel free to mingle, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. And we'd also like to invite you guys to check out some of our merch at the back. Sari Sari swag, and you can tap in some of our Canvanauts at the back as well. And if you would like to talk about tonight's activity and talk, you can hit us up at Canva_PH. Again, please feel free to share your story for tonight. Use hashtag Creative Lab 2023 and tag us at Canva_PH. Yeah. And to everyone, you could actually grab some food and drinks. Feel free to stay in our alfresco area right here on your left side. Hello, everyone. If you're looking for a place to lounge and eat your food, our alfresco area is open. Again, our alfresco area is open. Also, our 7th floor rooftop is open.
It's the discovery that creativity is not limited to creative people. It's the discovery that creativity is not limited to creative people.
When we started, it was just me and my husband doing everything.
Ever since I started using the platform, it has been a total game changer for me as a designer.
So some of the biggest challenges that we encounter every day as a team would be managing and organizing our files.
I think from a content perspective, there's quite a few things going on at once. And for us creatives, it really takes time to render or to create things. So it's always the time pressure and the deadline, hitting our deadline. So yeah.
I think Canva for Teams has helped us solve a lot of the problems that stem from continuity.
The team recently, we published a content calendar internally, and that was done through Magic Write. And that kind of set our content calendar for the last quarter of the year. And yeah.
I know kasi na pag sinabi natin Canva, may readily made designs, but as creatives also, we really use it as a tool to help our designs be more impactful.
Since Canva is so efficient, drag and drop ka lang with your assets, like literally, we edit our graphics within the Canva platform.
Like, I could say it again and again, but really Canva makes my life so much easier.
Design opens new windows of new thinking. It's the discovery that creativity is not limited to creative people.
Being one of the people with a non-creative role in a design studio, I think having Canva as a tool talaga empowers me to do more creative work kahit na maliliit lang, and to support our designers and other creatives in our team.
In terms of user experience, sobrang dali. The usability ranges from beginners to like professionals, and I think that's a really great quality of Canva to empower the world to design. Whether your experience is, you as a user, your design experience is like lower or in the higher, it still could accommodate that.
We're trying to empower everyone to raise their standards of design. And you shouldn't intimidate them, rather you should give them a tool that is easy enough for them to start with.
We bridged so many steps already just being in one platform, and all the features have been maximized so that we get what we need the most.
I came upon Canva, and ever since then, I never looked back. And now I'm the owner of my own company.
If we had Canva for Teams earlier, I think that we would have saved so much time and effort.
I'd recommend other CEOs to take on Canva. It'll unleash potentials that you've never seen in your organization.
Design is not just a visual thing, it's really a process. And the great thing I think about is that you're activating something and you're giving them something easy to use that can help them ideate, that can help them put their creative ideas to life. So I think it tapped into the secret designer that everyone kind of has. And I think what's great is that as you guys evolve, you cater to an end-to-end solution, which I think is really great.
Canva for Teams is a wonderful discovery. It's something that was so simple, and sometimes the best ideas are just right under your noses.
Kaya sa Canva.
Kaya sa Canva. Kaya sa Canva.
Kaya sa Canva.
Kaya sa Canva.
It's the discovery that creativity is not limited to creative people.
we started, it was just me and my husband doing everything. Ever since I started using the platform, it has been a total game changer for me as a designer.
So some of the biggest challenges that we encounter every day as a team would be managing and organizing our files.
I think from a content perspective, there's quite a few things going on at once. And for us creatives, it really takes time to render or to create things. So it's always the time pressure and the deadline, hitting our deadline. So yeah.
I think Canva for Teams has helped us solve a lot of the problems that stem from continuity.
The team recently, we published a content calendar internally, and that was done through Magic Write. And that kind of set our content calendar for the last quarter of the year. And yeah.
I know kasi na pag sinabi natin Canva, may readily made designs, but as creatives also, we really use it as a tool to help our designs be more impactful.
Since Canva is so efficient and drag and drop ka lang with your assets, like literally, we edit our graphics within the Canva platform.
Like, I could say it again and again, but really, Canva makes my life so much easier.
Design opens new windows of new thinking. It's the discovery that creativity is not limited to creative people.
Being one of the people with a non-creative role in a design studio, I think having Canva as a tool talaga empowers me to do more creative work kahit na maliliit lang, and to support our designers and other creatives in our team.
In terms of user experience, sobrang dali. The usability ranges from beginners to like professionals, and I think that's a really great quality of Canva to empower the world to design. Whether your experience is, you are as a user, your design experience is like lower or in the higher, it still could accommodate that.
We're trying to empower everyone to raise their standards of design. And you shouldn't intimidate them, rather you should give them a tool that is easy enough for them to start with.
We bridged so many steps already just being in one platform, and all the features have been maximized so that we get what we need the most.
I came upon Canva, and ever since then, I never looked back. And now I'm the owner of my own company.
If we had Canva for Teams earlier, I think that we would have saved so much time and effort.
I'd recommend other CEOs to take on Canva. It'll unleash potentials that you've never seen in your organization.
Design is not just a visual thing, it's really a process. And the great thing I think about is that you're activating something and you're giving them something easy to use that can help them ideate, that can help them put their creative ideas to life. So I think it taps into the secret designer that everyone kind of has. And I think what's great is that as you guys evolve, you cater to an end-to-end solution, which I think is really great.
Canva for Teams is a wonderful discovery. It's something that was so simple, and sometimes the best ideas are just right under your noses.
Kaya sa Canva.
Kaya sa Canva. Kaya sa Canva.
Kaya sa Canva.
Kaya sa Canva!
We're about to start in 5 minutes. Can we please ask everyone to settle down? Again, we are about to start in 5 minutes. Can we ask everyone to please settle down? We're about to start in 5 minutes. Again, we are about to start in 5 minutes.
When we started, it was just me and my husband doing everything. Ever since I started using the platform, it has been a total game changer for me as a designer.
So some of the biggest challenges that we encounter every day as a team would be managing and organizing our files.
Can we please
from a content
ask
perspective,
everyone to take a
there's quite a
seat? We're
few
about to
things
start
going
the
on at once.
program.
And for us
Once again, can we
creatives, it really
please
takes
ask
time to
everyone
render the
to take a
creative.
seat?
So
We're about
it's
to
always
start the
the
program.
time pressure and the deadline, hitting our deadline. So yeah.
I think Canva for Teams has helped us solve a lot of the problems that stem from continuity.
The team recently, we published a content calendar internally, and that was done through Magic Write. And that kind of set our content calendar for the last quarter of the year. And yeah.
I know kasi na pag sinabi natin Canva, may readily made designs, but as creatives also, we really use it as a tool to help our designs be more impactful.
Since Canva is so efficient and drag and drop ka lang with your assets, like literally, we edit our graphics within the Canva platform.
Like, I could say it again and again, but really, Canva makes my life so much easier.
Design opens new windows of new thinking. It's the discovery that creativity is not limited to creative people.
Being one of the people with a non-creative role in a design studio, I think having Canva as a tool talaga empowers me to do more creative work kahit na maliliit lang, and to support our designers and other creatives in our team.
In terms of user experience, sobrang dali. The usability ranges from beginners to like professionals, and I think that's a really great quality of Canva to empower the world to design. Whether your experience is, you are as a user, your design experience is like lower or in the higher, it still could accommodate that.
We're trying to empower everyone to raise their standards of design. And you shouldn't intimidate them, rather you should give them a tool that is easy enough for them to start with.
We've bridged so many steps already just being in one platform, and all the features have been maximized so that we get what we need the most.
I came upon Canva, and ever since then, I never looked back. And now I'm the owner of my own company.
If we had Canva for Teams earlier, I think that we would have saved so much time and effort.
I'd recommend other CEOs to take on Canva. It'll unleash potentials that you've never seen in your organization.
Design is not just a visual thing, it's really a process. And the great thing I think about is that you're activating something and you're giving them something easy to use that can help them ideate, that can help them put their creative ideas to life. So I think it taps into the secret designer that everyone kind of has. And I think what's great is that you guys evolve, you cater to an end-to-end solution, which I think is
Wonderful discovery. It's something that was so simple, and sometimes best ideas are just right under your noses.
Kaya sa Canva.
Kaya sa Canva.
Kaya sa Canva.
Kaya sa Canva.
So hello everyone, welcome back. And now we are at our fireside chat. So this is just a very chill session. This is so exciting because we have our incredible lineup of speakers. And we're gonna talk about the impactful learnings and insights on the future of design. So my first question is, and this is for Cam. So yes, the first burning question. What tips or advice do you have for design leaders who have the potential influence to the most good they can at an organizational level?
I think the biggest tip I have is just dive in. So often you can want to hold back because you want to have the perfect impact. You want to think about every possible thing you can do and make sure you have the largest impact that you can. But for us, it's been a huge journey of diving in and working with partners like, say, Philippine Seas or other organizations that we work with. And I think nowadays a lot of NGOs, a lot of philanthropic organizations are really keen to learn from businesses as well. So kind of to the point that we were talking about earlier, that designers do have a lot of knowledge that you assume isn't going to be interesting to anyone because it's just second nature to you. It is really valuable to teach other organizations how you do things and approach things from a different perspective. And I think in the work that we've done with partners, our ability to truly collaborate with them and try new things out, like we have with Give Directly, has been really important for the impact that we're aiming to have.
Thank you for that. Now, next question. I'm going to direct this question to Miss Anna. So, how do you ensure that the voices of underrepresented communities are heard in your initiatives and in what you design?
So if Cam's advice was to dive in, mine is to start in shallow waters. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, di ba? May metaphor pa rin.
You got sea metaphors for everything.
Because start in shallow waters because we do a lot of focus group discussions, key informant interviews before we dive in. Because you have to hear from the people you're designing for before you go and do it. And then when we finally come up with the designs and presentations and teaching materials, then we ask for feedback because we're always eager to improve. So we ask what worked, what didn't, then we just keep improving every single time we use those materials.
Thank you for that. Whoa. So from diving to shallow waters. So next question. I'm gonna direct this to Liz. How do you ensure that the same question actually. How do you ensure that the underrepresented communities are heard in your initiatives and in what you design?
Na-pressure ako. I don't have a continuation
Another
to
metaphor.
that. I guess something that we also try to do when we have participative design, you need to acknowledge that it's not a one-size-fits-all. So you kind of actually have to be creative. Think about what's the best design or best approach to get their voices. Like we mentioned that we had this vision boarding exercise, and it's accessible to kids because they could draw what they meant. And then it's also accessible to their parents who didn't have the opportunity to learn how to read and write, but they were still able to contribute. And we need to be conscious about that, especially in the Philippines when there are a lot of people who have challenges with reading and writing, and then we have also so many languages. It also helps that we're also being conscious about diversifying our group. I myself is from Iloilo, so there has been some projects that it has been helpful for me that I know how to speak Iligayon. So it's really great to see that, and we hope to also be able to include more designers with diverse backgrounds. And in that way, we can also relate to different communities because our designers are from those communities.
Thank you for that. How about for a writer's standpoint, AIDS?
I agree with both Anna and Liz. I think the key point there is participatory design. So even as writers, I mean, before we're writers, before we're designers, before we're anything, we're all humans, and it always starts from a point of empathy. As a writer, I actually went into writing because I'm afraid of speaking, so I don't know what I'm doing here. But that's because I like to hear the stories of people, and you act as an amplifier for their voice when they are part of it from the very beginning, and you're just trying to tell their story, find a common ground. That's where you start, and then it goes from there, and that's how everyone's voice is heard, not just the unrepresented.
Thank you for that, AIDS. Now to wrap things up, my last question is, anyone can answer this question. So, as technology continues to grow with the world we live in, what are you most excited for in the future of designing for good? So anyone? How about Cam?
I think it is, in our experience working with so many different types of organizations, it really is about telling stories, and what Aid said really resonated with me. I think everyone has an amazing story to tell, they just don't necessarily know how to tell it. And that applies to individuals, it applies to organizations, it applies to businesses. And so much of the work we do through Canva, also through our own personal philanthropic endeavors, is about getting those stories out and telling them and amplifying them. And I think technology has the ability to be the ultimate amplifier. It can be an incredible megaphone. It can help you connect with the right audiences. And I think our role as technologists, as designers, as business builders, is to create the right connections between different parts of the world, between the needy, between the people with resources, with the people who have skills, all of that, and technology is the enabler of it.
Agree. How about Liz?
Yeah. Just to really add to that, I really see the technology as a great enabler for collaboration. So we all have experienced it during the pandemic. We weren't able to meet each other, and technology was the way to help us connect with each other and still be able to do what we do. And I guess what I'm really excited for is that we have more opportunities to reach out to more people because of technology. And we also hope that, like with also what Canva is doing, that we also kind of have to democratize that power and share that power to design with a lot more people. Because a lot more people have things to say, and hopefully design can be that way for them to express that.
Thank you so much for that. And maybe lastly for Miss Anna.
For me, technology used to intimidate me a lot because I feel like we'll depend on it and get lazy. But then now I realize the power of it as a tool to reach the end. It's not the end, but it's a means to the end. And for me, even if we talk about marine litter, climate change, technology can be used to create a climate for change.
Thank you so much for your answers and for sharing your stories to all of us. So that basically wraps our fireside. So we're glad that the discussion was about making a clear case that the future of design lies in taking care of our community. So thank you so much to our speakers. Thank you for this meaningful lessons that you shared with us tonight. To our speakers, we can now leave the stage. So, some of you might wonder, what is Creative Lab? What is this entire event all about? So, Canva Creative Lab is a space to learn and let curiosity lead by creatives for creatives. So tonight, we share this space with all of you, and we're just getting started. As we come to a close in our program, we have Angelo Cuyegking, our design specialty lead in the Philippines, to share the future of Creative Lab.
Thank you, Gula. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us tonight at our biggest design meetup with the creative community. It's very nice to see familiar faces and new ones as well. Yula is right. We are just getting started. And so allow me to share the future of Canva Creative Lab with you. So with over 290 creatives now, here in Canva Philippines alone, our team strives for design excellence. And to get there, we're guided by these guiding stars, raising the design bar in what we do, building new teams, empowering our teams to do their best design work, and of course, giving back to the creative community. We want to do our part in building a strong creative community in the Philippines. And we believe that by bringing these goals together, we can embody design excellence. Sorry, I grew up in the 90s with giant robots. So we started Creative Lab way back in 2019 as a way to bring together the community and provide moments of inspiration. It was a free quarterly meetup, a small gathering of creatives and the creatively curious. And it was an event that we started exclusively here in the Philippines at the time. And we wanted to bring creatives from different backgrounds, different disciplines together, with a mission to celebrate creativity together. And that was really important to us because I think that's what's really unique with the creative scene here in the Philippines, the spirit of bayanihan. The local creative community is one that grows and nourishes itself, creative supporting and celebrating each other. And back then, our format was pretty straightforward, much like tonight. We gave creatives the space to share their knowledge, inspire creativity and dialogue. And these are some of the amazing creatives that we've featured in the past throughout the 3 runs that we've had so far. And yes, we've done 3 different runs of Creative Lab in the past. While the pandemic forced us to hold off on our efforts here, it allowed us to rethink the format and more directly tie it to Canva's mission and values. So our new vision is a refinement of Creative Labs that we've held in the past with our learnings and new goals in 2024. Creative Lab still aims to bring together different creative disciplines to inspire community and creativity, but we also want to be able to empower action through Canva in whatever form that may be. So Creative Lab will be a creative playground and platform where we can host community events, sustain creative pursuits, and avenues for us to collaborate and partner with the community. So the way we imagine it is we will have these playground events starting next year, smaller lo-fi events that aren't strictly tied to just talks like tonight. These can lead to our bigger events and conferences, or what we like to call our lab events. And these will be our bigger experiments, events that will be less regular, but focused on larger creative projects, deeper discussions, and design for good. So in a year or 2, it could look something like this, where one event leads into another, much like a marble drop experiment going through new and exciting paths. So I've done a lot of talking. So allow me to share a short hype reel to get us all excited for this next evolution of Creative Lab.
Dance with it, come on. Rock with it, come on. Move with it, come on. Rock with it, come on. Rock with it, come on. Wiggle with it, what up? Dance.
Yeah, so at the very heart of Creative Lab is the community, you. We hope that you can continue to join us as we grow this community and build the future of Creative Lab together. And we would love to collaborate, partner, or even just hear out ideas from you. So please also reach out. But last, but certainly not the least, this is something that we often say at Canva. It takes a village to bring an idea to life. It's the same for Creative Lab. It took a village of teams here in Canva for Creative Lab to finally happen at this scale. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our Vibe, IT, marketing, operations, design, and creative teams for sharing this journey and turning the vision of Creative Lab into reality. I'd also like to thank Liz and Anna for making this experience more meaningful. And to Cam, our creatives, aides, Henry, Mika, and Jello. To our host, Yula, for sharing your valuable time, insight, and knowledge of what real impact truly is, shaping a better future with our creativity and curiosity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Angelo. That was incredible, and we can't wait for what's next, especially for 2024. And that basically wraps up Canva Creative Lab. We cannot thank you enough for joining us tonight. And for our guests here with us, we'd love for you to stay. There's more food, drinks. The Creative Lab team also prepared special tokens for you to bring home. You can get them near the entrance of the main hall. So before some of you would leave, can we ask for a photo op, more of like a video op for everyone? So can we ask everyone to please stand up? We're gonna do like a little TikTok/reel right now. So this is not just a photo op, it's a video op. We're gonna do a photo op first and then a video op. So can we ask everyone to please stand up? And for our speakers, can we all... Okay. Can we ask all of our speakers to stay here at the front of the audience? And also our Creative Lab team who worked tirelessly for tonight's event to please join the photo op. Go. Cookie! Congrats! Okay, the main cam first. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Smile. Ay, cool. Closer daw. Okay. 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 More cameras. We'd also like to thank our streamers from YouTube and the rest of our Canva platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay. And now, guys, so we're gonna do the video. video. We're gonna do our reel/TikTok. So I'm just gonna bring the camera around, and when I do, just say, I just want everyone to say hi. Okay? Put your big smiles on. Let's do this. Which camera? Dito na. Yan. Gonna do a 180. Sige. Dito. Yes. Sige. Are you guys ready? Just say hi. Okay. From jump. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yay! Let's do safety. Yes. One more time. Ready? Yay! Woo! Isa pa daw. One more safety. Yeah, back up ng safety. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much, everyone. There are food and drinks. Don't forget your merch at the back. Our sari swag. Thank you so much, Creative Lab team. Congratulations.